Hello,
Hello.
hello, guys.
Hello, sir.
Hello, hello.
Hello, Harith sir.
Hello. So I guess we'll start. Start. पहले एलईडी का कर लेते हैं, okay? Because we have LED.
What? No, first yours. What?
Why?
First LCD.
Okay, fine. We'll go.
Will come otherwise.
Fine. Okay.
Oh, there are fewer LEDs. That's why. Fewer questions.
पहले
Yeah.
जनरल कर ले.
Fine, then we can do, I guess.
Okay. So how do I open this? Okay, light. Just read it from here if you can.
Wait, read from where?
What? Okay.
It's not
Okay.
full.
Fine. Okay.
Yeah, fine.
So what kind of questions can I expect if I choose microcontrollers? With these people.
Uh, if
That's
you haven't
fewer.
studied, then just tell like you haven't studied it, because when you come here, anyway, study this subject. Right, Nihal?
Yeah. I mean, if you haven't studied, it's fine, I guess. But, uh, yeah, I think that should be fine.
I don't think any of us chose to like told them like we want to be asked from this topic.
Architecture. Yeah. Was anyone asked architecture?
I don't think so. I think most people told they're only comfortable with digital electronic signal systems, some analog and some this communication, I guess.
I think this is a very specific question.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
can't answer because none of us told this, I guess.
Yeah. If you don't deliberately choose, like if you ask them, I know this topic, ask me regarding this, then I don't think they'll ask you.
Okay, so
Yeah,
in the
before this,
start of the interview, get to choose two topics,
ah,
I guess, of your preference. One from
Yeah.
maths and one
One
from
maths and
technical.
one core subject.
let's just tell them generally first, no, and then we'll go to the questions, like how the interview will be, etc.
Fine, sure.
You only tell her it first.
There's nothing to tell. It's just the interview starts. He asks you to introduce yourself, and you tell whatever you can in that time frame you can. Because after that, you won't get the opportunity to say. And then he'll ask you your favorite questions. So basically, there'll be a panel of 4 5 members, and then they'll ask you questions one by one. How okay, we'll see the questions in chat after some time, I guess. But yeah, so they'll ask you your favorite topics, and you have to yeah, Bala tell.
Yeah, so like it's not necessarily they'll ask you your favorite topics. Like I was asked on something which I didn't prepare also. So like
Hmm.
be ready for that scenario. Like I guess at least one of the topics you'll be able to like drive towards it, but there's a possibility you might be asked things you are not. And if you can go through it, then if you can get through that topic, answering questions from that, yes, please go ahead. If you can't, then just be upfront about it. Yeah, don't like try and half answer. That's all.
Yeah, if you can answer, just answer, or else just tell I haven't uh, read about this topic in my college. Is the best answer you can give actually.
The best answer is just like love saying that this was not taught to us.
Or you can say it's been a while. That's what I said. Uh, anything more? So basically, even for me, it was just they asked me to introduce myself. I told XYZ. They looked like they were in a rush. The panel members, they didn't really pay attention to what I said. And then straight they went to, what do you want us to ask you? What topics? I told something, and the entire interview was based on that only.
They'll ask you one math subject and one core subject from your CS or EC.
A
And
few core subjects, not just one. No,
yeah,
or uh, at least one math and a couple of core
math, I
subjects.
think they'll ask you for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
And if you did something crazy, like some crazy project or written some research paper, just mention that during your introduction only. Then maybe they might ask about that thing in your whole interview.
Yeah, like, but I did tell them something. They didn't really care. So it's okay. I went expecting they'll ask based on my introduction, but they straight up went to ask subject matter. So that's how mine was.
On the contrary, like in my case though, like I said I was introducing myself, and then they asked me my hobbies and things like that. And then based on my hobbies, they tried to somewhat like infuse it with subject related terms and get it from that. Like I'm not going to be very specific here, but I said I like football and sports, and then they said like how are you going to model things? And then I had an opportunity to choose here. I chose graphs to model it, but I don't know, some prof like the probability professors there, he might ask you to use probability to model these things, and then like yeah. So basically, you get a gist of it, right?
Yeah, I think
Internships and all, they don't care, I guess. Like if you have written something related to research or some research paper mentioned that they might be interested in that thing.
Pranav would have mentioned about his research. Not sure.
Yeah, also like I
Yeah, I guess.
think there's a Medium post by R.Evan Bhaiya. He's one of our seniors. So I think he mentioned interest in quantum, and they specifically asked question about quantum, and that's I guess how he got it. So like, if you have a hobby or if you have something that you are strong in, so mention that they may ask you about it, but like be ready to answer.
Fine, let's speed run document questions.
Yeah. So we'll go with LCD one and LED one alternatively. That's fine.
Okay.
How to preface a theoretical part is choosing BBMS and DSA. Okay. Uh, if anyone else wants to answer, Bala, Paul.
Okay, DBMS, they asked me a question. I may not be like I cannot exactly remember or tell you the question, but they asked me about a question. It was very vague and straightforward, like question about functional dependencies, how you can use functional dependencies to derive some particular characteristic of the table. It was a straightforward question. So, question like this is asked. You will mostly be given choice about as a third subject to choose either DBMS or I guess OSN. They will just ask you what you taught. So like if you want to just leave it, you can say no, we were not taught DBMS or OSN. DSA, I guess the Facebook interview sheet have a lot of question about DSA. You can just go and refer that, and that's how you can prepare DSA. But mostly the simple questions regarding DSA. But you can find more questions in the Facebook interview, the Facebook group of LE. I think everyone know about that.
Yeah, I think DBMS में normalization was maybe the major part, no? It's not-
Yeah, but that was mostly asked in written paper. I guess
Mm,
like interview they asked me DBMS because I chose that.
okay.
So
And in my interview, they had asked me like just general this thing definitions like what is aggregate key and what is the this thing super key and stuff like that, and they asked me to give examples of it. I had given a particular example which came in my in semester exam, and the profs like called it too complicated or like too premedicated of an example or something like that. I remember, but yeah. It can also be from basic definitions. That's what I mean to say here.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a good choice only. I think. Fine. LED.
Should I expect questions from signals and systems if I choose analog? I think so. They're quite close. So he might steer towards that direction, I'd say.
Yeah, without signal systems, you can't do anything in analog communication.
Okay. How easy it is to manage a present college shift to triple after selection, or the accept transfer of you in your credit score. So college transfer, credits don't get transferred, so you kind of start afresh. And managing college shift is kind of hard, I guess. I don't know, others should comment.
It depends upon your management of the college. For me, it was easy, but I have heard some stories where they were not that easy. But that mostly depends upon your management. You may think your college management is bad, but try them first. And like shifting, of course, you will have to leave your friends. So that's a decision everyone makes.
Yeah, and
And
don't let
on
to
the
get your money back.
on the technical side, like you'll have to I mean, this is all after the interview and stuff, so you don't have to worry about it now. You'll need to get your transfer certificate and your 4 semesters mark sheet. They're not very particular about when you have to get it and stuff like that, but yeah, that's the process. And my shift to like triple IT was like, I would say very difficult because like you're gonna realize that it's not very easy. Like I mean, I don't know. My institute was pretty easy going for me. I used to study 1 week before exams, for before exams, 1 week before midterms, 2 weeks I used to study. Here, the entire sem you have to be like on your toes, doing assignments 3 a.m. at the night and stuff. But yeah, you'll get to it eventually.
Yeah,
This is like a problem you should address after the interview. But like, it's mostly like the document verification or not that I have not even submitted my fourth sem mark sheet till date. So
By the way, Harith,
mm,
somebody asked if, like, somebody asked they have exam on the same day as interview.
I
Do
think
you
they
know
have to
if they
mail.
can?
you have to mail,
Yeah,
but
They have to mail, yeah.
they will consider
Yeah.
as they have a lot of interview panels, so they will consider, I guess. As interviews are going on.
Okay. Big question.
Um. Okay. Okay. It same. This sum up is asking. I don't have many star points in my introductions. Is it okay? I think it's okay. Like I don't know. I don't know about the CS guys case, but EC guys case. Most of us they stuck to only subject matter. I'm assuming, and it was they didn't. At least to my case, they didn't pay much attention to my introduction. Also, they straight up went to what can I ask you. So I
Yeah.
guess it's fine. It's always just a plus point. It doesn't mean if it doesn't exist, you won't get in. You should be fine. And you have done a lot, by the way. Whoever wrote this.
Yeah, I think
I
extracurricular
would
is what,
say
yeah, Bala.
like I'm just saying from our I don't think many people from our batch did internships
Yeah.
except like one or two guys. So
Mm,
I don't think like your profile is really good. You don't have to worry about these things. And from interview perspective too, like some people like my roommate was asked questions about his projects and stuff which was done, but that's totally up to you. That's only like if you bring it up a lot. Sometimes they don't really like to ask you from those things, but there are other cases where like you must have read the transcripts from LE where some people were asked about like quantum and some people were asked about ML and stuff like that. And yeah, so like there is a probability you might be asked. That's only if you mention it. I mean, yeah, so it's in your hands.
Yeah, some people have like I think in the Facebook same again referring to a document I read it like many times. So someone mentioned GSOC interviews about like he cleared before coming here. So like they asked him about GSOC and OS and stuff. So you can churn your interview that way, but they will not naturally choose to go towards your extracurriculars. They will mostly go towards theoretical subjects. You can if you want, but they won't buy internationally.
yeah. Okay. How was the difficulty of EEEE 2026 paper compared to 2025? We wouldn't know. I think.
We were not even given marks,
Yeah,
so like we cannot
yeah,
even rank ourselves. कि मेरे को
exactly.
इतने. So we don't even know about ourselves. How did it go? We just say, yeah, you have cleared next round, and that's how we crossed.
Yeah. So,
But I've heard like our batch had questions from without out of the syllabus, which was not a feature from 2025. The
hmm,
question paper had like that.
like PG
But
level.
like mostly they have increased the intakes, so it's my hypothesis it would be easier for you also to get in for us also. So hopefully.
Then do we have to prepare a resume for the interview under CGPA matter?
Uh,
They ask your CGPA, but I don't think it actually matters that much.
they didn't ask me my CGPA, but they asked some other people.
Yeah, they asked me.
Yeah,
They asked me as
they
well.
asked me also.
And
But I guess having good CG is just a plus point. It's like if you even have a CG, then if your interview goes well, then I think you're fine.
what do you mean prepare a resume? You can't show it to them now that time anyway, no?
Yeah.
That's equivalent to introduction only at that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
What suggestion would you like to give for 2027 batch? Uh,
Skip.
We'll answer this in
Study, bro, study.
late 2026, I guess.
yeah, I think our juniors will be taking that
Our
question.
juniors will
Yeah.
answer. Yeah.
Some of you guys will be taking this question next year. We
Yeah. So I think LED is done. Is it okay? What are some behavioral questions we can expect? In my case, I was just asked to introduce myself. There's nothing else they asked me. If they ask us if we have any questions for them, what should we ask them? I don't know. I didn't face the situation. Did anyone else?
Um, does behavioral questions like, I mean, if I think of it in another way, are you asking us like, how do we respond to the profs if in case they're not satisfied with our answers or something like that? In that case, I would just say that take a second or two, try to like look these profs. They're obviously like really good in their field. They're expecting you to think in a certain way. Try to like just I mean, don't go overboard trying to justify your answer or something. If they say, like, if they're not 100% satisfied, just agree with them and try to think of what they might be expecting for. Try to think of some auxiliary concept because I hope that's what you meant by this question because behavioral questions, I don't understand much. I mean, like, they're not going to test you how good of a person you are or something. They're not going to ask ethics and values.
also show your working. That's very important.
Yeah.
Like even if you don't get your answer, that doesn't matter. Even when you come here, most of the things are for showing your working. You won't get marked for what you think. You will get marked for what you are conveying to them. So like show how are you proceeding. Even if they are not satisfied, tell them ki I got this answer this way. So even they may tell you ki okay maybe you should think this way. They will like help you around to get the answer. Maybe like you won't be able to get it one shot, but you'll eventually get there, or at least you show them the working. That's enough for them. That's I think is
Just be honest if you're not able to answer any question.
See, the thing you have to understand is there's not a HR round. It's more like a viva regarding your subject.
Hmm.
So keep that in mind.
Yeah, like I think Arijeet hit the nail here. You guys, what he meant by show you're working is like after a second of two of thinking about what you want to answer, keep talking about the process of how you got to that thing. Like if you like, let's say if you want to answer something and you thought of that method because you relate it to something else, say that aloud. Say because I think because such and such thing happened here, I think we can apply it here also and move forward in that direction. So in that way, you're kind of showing the prof that you're thinking, and that is really like a plus point for interviews. Like especially for LE interview. Yeah.
Yeah, true. And do they read?
Harith, is everybody in?
Yeah, everybody is in. Yeah, there is no one waiting.
Okay.
Do they read and ask questions from a resume? I don't think you guys provided resumes, no? There's no option to provide resume.
No, while applying, we had to know. While
I
registering.
don't think
Yeah,
so. Was that there?
you have to write a SOP, I guess,
SOP,
a
yeah.
statement of purpose you need to write, and like you have to give your interest and things like that. So apart from that, no, like particularly, there is no option to submit your resume.
Yeah. Just be novel about your SOP.
Like, even if you wrote much things in your SOP and stuff, I think they would be asked subject questions, right?
Yeah, it's a very short interview. Do not think it's like a 1 hour interview or 30, but maximum be 30 minutes. So, like, they will also be fast paced about your technical subjects. It's not a very long
Even
interview.
even 30 minutes is very like
Yeah, mine was 15 minutes.
Yeah, 30
yeah.
minutes is like topmost case. Like, I was seeing the panel reports, and like, it ranges from 3 minutes to 30 minutes. So, like, it's like a very range, but like 30 minutes is max. You don't expect anything. 6, 7, 15 maximum. Like most of the people are hitting that much. The normal curve peaks at 6, 7 minutes, I guess.
Okay. What makes them to reject someone in the interview? If you know someone who got rejected, share that experience. I don't know anyone who got rejected. If someone else knows, maybe.
Yeah, someone was rejected in the Facebook group, I remember, because like I was last guy, so like some people are messaging key, yeah, this, but like who are all are left. So one of them like voted as rejected. So there are people who get rejected, but I don't think they will be open about it that much. You can
Mm-hmm.
ask the Facebook group or the Discord chat, I guess. Facebook group there will be some people, but like I don't think they'll be open about it.
Do they expect bookish definitions or can you explain the concept in your own words? You should explain your concept in your own words and how do we handle the questions you don't know. Just try it out once. I think Bala already explained. Try it
Working.
out working. Mm.
Sure, you're working. If you don't like, if you do not know anything about the subject, then like it's not a good idea to attack the question. But like if you know a bit, try to work through the. And sometimes they are deliberately asking harder questions. So
I would like to say that I think maybe a couple of my answers were wrong. Maybe I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Then right now also I'm not. But the yeah, I mean this they don't punish you for getting a question or two wrong. Like just give your attempt, try your best. In case you genuinely have no clue about it, then just like try and skim around it, saying that so I haven't done this subject or I have not. Uh, this is not. This will be taught to us the next semester in our institute, something like that. But if you have any slight hint of it, try. It's fine if you get it wrong, but do a genuine attempt. That's all I could say.
Yeah, that's perfect.
mostly like what we agreed on initially at least. I think mostly you need to get 2/3 of your interview right. That's a very rough number, but like what I would say is like 2/3 of your interview you need to be right, and like 1/3 you can be wrong. But like 2/3 of the panel should be impressed. Like there are three, so mostly 2/3 of the interview part should go good. I think mostly for us are like that. We are talking someday, so that is a rough estimate.
Okay, now
Someone is
Matt, I guess.
yeah, if someone is submitting in that form, say sent.
We'll just look at chat now, I guess.
Yeah, you can give your question in chat, or I guess
Yeah,
you can
either of them.
raise your hands and speak because like there are less participants this time.
Yeah.
Today, read your essay, not for me. You guys, they are something from what you write up.
No, no.
No, they don't
I
remember.
don't
I
think
don't
they
think.
even read it.
They might read it, but I don't think they'll say it out to us. Like, is it worth joining their interest in VLSI? Nihal.
Jayakanth.
What should I say in this? Uh,
Tushar.
okay.
Tushar.
Tushar, yeah, bro. Tushar, bro.
Tushar, where is Tushar?
Let me unmute him. Tushar.
See,
I
even
know
if you're interested in VLS, I don't think you'll go to uh, our lab called C West because of the number of years you stay there. They don't graduate you early. I don't think only one guy from us went to C West. Everybody else are there in other labs.
But
Triple ATH official. I guess
like
that Tushar.
placement wise, someone comes, no? At
Yeah.
least. Jayakanth.
Yeah. If placement wise, if you see, there are a couple of companies.
Not
How
Tech
many?
that
support.
many, but one or two maximum.
No, for BTech people, there are less, but for dual degrees, there are more
Okay.
How many
because
subjects?
And
they let you go for 6 month interns.
course was also good only, I'll say. I learned a lot more VLSI things here than old college.
Yeah, Bala, tell.
So you decide.
Guys, regarding like graduation, I see in the comments, I mean, in the messages, a lot of graduation and all of those kind of questions. Uh, I would suggest that, I mean, Harith, we can do like another session for people who are selected, I guess, and
Yeah, sure.
you can worry about it later. Right
Yeah.
now, just focus on your interview prep. I mean, all
Yeah.
of these things don't matter that much for right now. After you get, you can make a decision whether to come here or not. Like for that also, we'll keep a session. Don't worry
Yeah,
about it.
graduation and COS load is
Yeah,
like
true.
this
Yeah,
few days
labs,
after this.
graduation. Yeah,
Like this is something you should not worry about right now.
Bro, right now, whoever got selected will interview, you guys tell your questions first and then we'll do the rest. Like you guys have it now, no? So first priority.
Mock experience is nothing. In mock, they'll just ask you to read out terms and conditions aloud. That's all. Just for setup.
Mock is just to like make sure your voice is heard properly, your face is seen
Yeah.
properly. Like the
Setup.
admin will confirm with you. Try to get your setup proper during them.
Interview was not first come, first serve. You have to wait the whole time. You can be anywhere in the time frame they give you.
From morning 6 a.m. you have to sit, and it can be not 6, I
Nine,
guess.
nine, nine.
9.
There are
Mine
just
was at
two now.
6.
evening 6.
Mine was evening 6, last interview. So like I was waiting for the entire time.
Anyone who chose signals and systems as favorite subject.
Yeah.
I would say choose some other subject because mostly everybody are going to choose signal systems and digital electronics. So I guess they will ask harder questions as you go on. There, they'll be creative and they'll ask you,
Yeah.
I guess, hard questions. I would recommend do something like analog or something else.
The questions aren't tricky. They aren't hard. They just ask to see how you think, how you approach the problem. That's all.
No, you can see the Facebook questions. They are quite spot on.
Yeah.
They just ask questions just like that. There is a document in like Facebook LGB group. The questions are exactly that spot on. They haven't changed a bit.
I'd say for EC, I found them a little. See, they started easy and then they kept going and going and going in that chain of thought, and it got pretty tricky for me in the end. But they didn't really care about my answer, they cared only about my thought process.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
Nihal, hard question for Nihal. That's like something expected.
Some do they pressure you, mind games thingy?
No,
No, they're
no.
quite supportive actually. And one more thing was there. No, yeah, message went away. Oh, Uh, what type of requirements for setup?
Just laptop.
Paper, pen, and laptop.
Yeah.
Oh, we talk about paper, pen also, no? Anybody have to use it?
If you like, I had to use it some groups
Yeah,
related
it's
question they
better
asked,
to
so
keep
I needed
one.
paper pen. Also, you'll be asked maths, so if you want to, you can.
Uh,
It's always good to keep a paper pen
Yeah.
handy. It's a
because they want to
difficult.
ask maths and then they can ask you some proofs and also they'll ask you to write some
Like,
proofs and show it.
and DSA they will ask you something, so you cannot think everything. You can note down the steps or the graphs that they ask. So things like that.
They,
And
they
I
made
have
me
put
draw a
my,
circuit and showed them in the paper. Tell.
I didn't choose electromagnetism, but they asked me. They started with vectors in linear algebra. They somehow drifted to electromagnetism. So I knew it, so I could answer. But yeah, it's not fixed. It's not same for everybody.
I'd say common trait at least is that they ask very similar sub things also, not just the pure subject. Like they asked around my subject that I asked them to ask, not exactly the subject.
Yeah, the point is like prepare two subjects. One is your core subject and one is your math subject.
Yeah.
To a exact level of expertise. Like you can answer everything about that, but also not everything. Like not that, but like you expect to answer in those subjects, but like also prepare every other subjects to a little bit of depth. Like do not skip anything. So again, going to that Aryaman Vaya's Medium post, he wrote like some of his friends got rejected because they just skipped digital electronics, and the interviewer just stuck to digital electronics, and they were not able to clear because only those were the questions they asked. So prepare every subject a little bit. I was just seeing a one shot of digital electronics the night before my interview. So like prepare, have a little bit of idea about all the subjects, but keeps two subjects very strong that you have.
Yeah. In math, you have the freedom to choose probability or linear algebra. I think discrete mathematics, I think, comes under math, but
That's core subject. I chose it as a core subject.
you can do that as well. But yeah, you should cover it entirely, whatever you choose. How many topics do they ask from in general?
I would say three or four. You should be like three. You should be very much well versed with.
Two
And
core, one math for me.
yeah, same.
Same.
So Dale, at last someone asked me whether have you done DBMS or OSN in your college. So if you have not, just say I have not. Otherwise, you can just choose to answer those questions. But that is how it goes. Yeah, you don't have computer networks. Just tell them you don't.
Yeah,
They
just
won't
say you're
ask.
not taught. They won't ask.
Uh,
You
like
can.
diverting to NLP and CV, like I don't think anyone in our, I mean, in the panel over here, like did that. But as you can see in that Facebook like list of interviews, some people had did that. Don't only feel like 100% confident because they don't ask like very basic questions. I guess I remember
If
some of them were a little bit tricky.
They will just call someone,
they ask me,
someone
if they
who
ask
is.
me directly from deep learning, uh, not deep learning exactly, optimization theory, because I said that when they asked what topics you have studied, I told them optimization theory. I told them three, but one of them was optimization theory. So they asked me direct questions like what is backpropagation, what different optimization algorithms, things
Yeah,
like that.
basically that whatever you tell, you should be confident in. You just can't, shout out words. That's all.
I don't think it's a good idea to say I'm not comfortable in base data when you say you are savvy in probability.
I actually told them that TSA is not my strong suit. So
Like,
they proceeded to ask the questions like, what is your favorite algorithm?
Yeah, actually, DSA is also important, but it depends on what you choose also. If you don't choose DSA, I don't think they'll stress upon DSA.
You cannot
Yeah,
skip subtopics. That is
Yeah,
not an option.
yeah. If you
If you
choose that,
choose DSA, they're gonna ask you left, right, center, anything.
no, I didn't choose DSA. Like they asked me, have you done DSA? Then I said that yes, but it's not my strong suit. And then they started asking question,
I
but
think,
it was easy, not that difficult.
I think they want to see how you would approach if you were given an unknown problem or not confident problem. So that I think that's the major breakthrough.
For any AC person, if they ask outside what we suggested, I don't think so. Only you guys are saying that. Only CS guys are saying that.
Not outside.
It's
Not
kind of
outside you.
no, it's not
Like for
exactly outside.
Amitabh, like, I mean, they asked DSA and no DSA, no? Like for us, they've strictly kept off limits. For me at least.
Yeah, you are not comfortable with DP. Most of the person living on this earth are not comfortable with DP. So
So
they will not have the time to ask you, or if it is going to DP, just tell them I am not comfortable. Just go towards the recursive solution or a later solution. But it's not that bad. They are quite understanding. They are not that dictatorish.
yeah, it's more like a discussion rather than an interview, I feel.
You won't be like CIC. There are not that many people who are selected for the interview, so they are just accepting you guys. They will
Yeah,
reject a very few. So it's not a rejection interview. It's most of a acceptance interview.
Yeah, like I asked them to repeat one question 4 times, and it was a very long question in DVMS. And at last they said, okay, now your interview is over.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
the
and
thing.
it's
Like,
not like what do you say? They have fixed number of seats. They only take that number of people. It's like if they like you, they'll take you, or else they won't. So I guess for LC, the maximum allotted was 15, but they took 16 in our year.
yeah. I think 20 is the max, and
Yeah, as I said, they are increasing intake, so you have a better chance. It's like inside a thing, but mostly do not stop studying, listening to this, but like I have probability of you getting in. That's what I would say.
So you don't have competition with others. It's only with yourself.
Quote of the day.
I mean, you can just say you're not comfortable instead of lying. Chat doesn't question.
If they just straightforward ask you DBMS or OSM, then you can just say DBMS. I was also not comfortable in DBMS,
But
but
I would
like
say,
I,
uh,
uh, Harith.
just try it. Just try if you can. If you're not able to get, then I think you can just say that you're not confident and you want to move over that topic. That's it. No. Senior host question on OSM.
Gursahib might have mentioned. Tag him in the Discord. He's the OSM guy. Tag him there. He I guess mentioned OSM and networks.
I think
Tag.
if you say that you want to be asked in OSM, obviously you can be prepared with it.
DM Gursahib. That's the best. Fill his DMs.
Yeah.
I will also DM him. Oh, they
No,
didn't increase the seat to 20, but I think they
could be.
are more
Maybe.
considerate.
Yeah.
See, it's not fixed. They'll take then all the people they like.
Yeah.
So
Exactly. If
it's
they
not like the number of seats they have to fill the seats. It's like if there are 20 people, they don't like anybody, they won't take anybody for that year. It's rather like that.
even in NC it was 13 this time. No.
Easy.
Yeah.
in last year, our senior batch, they only took 6 LED. In our batch, they took 13. So, like, I think it totally depends on the interviewers liking the way you respond to their questions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
See,
they have a threshold, and like if you pass that threshold, then they're happy to take you in. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah. If you charm them and your thought process is good, then it's easy. That's true.
college life in triple IT. It's good when there are no exams, I guess, which is true for any college. So
No, even when there are no exams, still it's
you,
healthy.
तुझे एग्जाम के बाद हम लोग क्या करते हैं?
Just have fun.
Assignment, Paul.
CSC too easy, bro. I'm telling you.
How did you all manage to keep yourselves composed during the last stretch? So, like, what I did was like, I mean, the day before exam, I was just jotting down all the negatives of coming year. Like, you have to spend God knows how many years. Probably you're good enough to crack gate if you can do LE, LEEE and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And just see, this is not the end of the road. Like, if you love research, there are even better opportunities after BTech. You can go abroad and stuff like that. So like, this is just like I would say, like even right now for most of you guys, it'll just be like a medium level good opportunity. There are better stuff, there are worse stuff. Either could happen to you. So like, don't take that much stress. Don't think this is like the thing you have to qualify for. That's like, it's just one of the opportunities. That's all. So like, if you think in that way, maybe you won't take that much stress during the like during the last stretch. Yeah.
Yeah, it's mostly like I guess J guys give some exam before. I don't know. I didn't qualify. So like people give exams. It's just the habit of giving exams that you should be well versed with.
Yeah, passing cutoff is only the problem. Once you pass cutoff, interview is just based on how you think. So just think out loud and you're in.
Yeah,
Please
interview.
ask how
Yeah,
much
but
time should we pass after a question is asked. So like I would say, I mean, if like I would say like in your time of pausing, you need to like just try to gather stuff in your idea regarding that subject. Like not everything's just gonna pop up like that. So I'd say like 5 to 10 seconds, and after that, start speaking. Do not stay silent for a very long time. But like if you're genuinely thinking, still I would say like start speaking out
Think out
whatever you've
loud.
thought
Yeah.
in the last 5 seconds or something.
you are writing.
Don't stay silent for like a really long time because then it will just seem like you're clueless.
Yeah, they will actually redirect the question to something else if you stay silent for a long time.
You answer like, okay, the probability of calculating. Maybe we can calculate like this, or we can take the joint distribution. So, like, like speak what you are thinking.
You
Not
can
necessary. Formal swearing is
Commerce
not
is not
necessary.
necessary, but I think you can have a
Just
better edge.
decently.
It
I
looks
wore
good, so.
shorts and I wore a proper blazer and all on.
Yeah, same. Even I had shorts beneath, but there was blazer and shirt on top.
Yeah, but like I wore formals, but the problem with formals that I'll tell you is like uh one second. So formals is like you have to wait for a long time. So you have to wear that formal and wait
Yeah,
for the entire
yeah,
day.
yeah.
So I was wearing a white shirt, tie, and I was waiting from morning to 6. Yeah, speak,
Akash,
Akash. My bad.
Basically, I had a doubt in which, like, let's say they asked me upon my weak subjects, let's say DBMS, TOC, like the subjects I've been taught, and then I keep repeatedly saying, like, I don't know because those subjects were coincidentally my weak. So, won't that make me a like bad impression?
no,
Like, there it will give me no.
no, it
See,
won't give
first
you.
you get to choose the subjects.
Yeah,
So mostly
most
they will
they
ask from the subjects only,
yeah,
and they will divert sometimes. You have the like freedom to tell them ki I genuinely don't know this subject, or genuinely these are not taught in our college. They have your, I guess, 4 year results, so they can verify even if you so. I don't think they would, but like, and yes, there are cases where like the interview panel has been going to a subject that you don't know. That I told you, Aryaman Bhaiya, Medium Post, his
yeah.
friends, and digital logic.
Say, I can relate to you. I was not preparing DBMS at all. They asked me that in an interview. Like they just moved on saying that, okay, you are some. I see in your transcript you've done DBMS and you got a good grade. So they just started the questions like that. So like, and I did not prepare for that. I was lucky. I got like basic definitions based questions. So I decided to like just move on with it. But in case if I had got like something which I couldn't have done, I would have just told I would have told them that I'm not very comfortable with it. I would have been honest. But try to see if it's an answerable question. Like if it's way too deep into theory, then probably you can just skip it because yeah, it won't be on top of your head.
Yeah,
Also, like in
yeah, sure,
speak.
sure. Paul.
Also, like in maths, I guess most of the questions are regarding properties. Like I answered groups questions, so most of it was regarding property. Like, do you have a group that has more than one generator? So things like that. Or if a group is homomorphic to another group, what are the properties you can tell about it? Like mostly about properties that they'll ask. Also in like linear algebra, they asked me what are if you have linear equation, you have matrices, these are the solutions of your matrix equation. So what can you tell about the number of solutions this will have? Not something like you have to like solve 10 pages of numerical answers. That is not the case, at least not for me.
Yeah, Akash.
So in worst case, I can maybe say, sir, I can try this problem in my home, like after some time. Like currently, I'm not getting it.
Yeah, sure. See, the only trick I can say personally is that when they give you a question which you don't know, you just say okay and you tell them that I'm going to solve this. Please give me some time, and then you try for 5 minutes. And if you're still not able to get, then you say that I'm not confident in this, and then you can move forward that way.
Don't
So, or else you
silently
can
try
say
also. Tell
something
your
like this,
Approach also.
or
So
else you can say
what do you?
something like this: "Ki, I'm weak at this subject. I'd prefer if you ask me from this
No,
subject.
that's not a
I'm
good.
like kind of
Yeah,
So even in worst case, like I'm not getting in the in anything in that subject, so I can just like solve in paper, and that should be like my last case of scenario, right?
no, try to read that whatever approach you're thinking, right? Just tell it. Even if it's wrong, if it sounds right to you, they just want to see how you're thinking.
yeah.
That'll
On top
also
of
give you
that,
plus points.
yeah. On top of that, they guide you and they give you hints as well. So you don't have to worry. If you're not able to get, they will still guide you. And if you're still not able to get, I think then they'll change the question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'll change the question.
for me, linear algebra, I was not ready. So they asked me, do you want linear algebra or do you want probability? I told them, ask from whatever you want. Like standard case of overconfidence. The first part went well. So then he was asking me linear algebra, which I generally didn't know that much of. He was asking things like a specific definition I didn't was not sure about. So then I told him, sir, I really don't know about this. I gave him idea. Okay, so I guess you can tell there are infinite number of solution by solving this or this or this. And then he'll say, okay, but like what is exactly? Well, sir, I do not recall what is this exactly, but like we can go like this or do like this. So he'll say, okay, we'll move on to next question. That's all for me. That's what he said. I was a little scared that time and be ready to be scared also. But mostly that's two-thirds of your interviews. That's all it takes, I guess.
So
Rough number.
the panel members' videos won't be on, so you might get intimidated. You don't have to worry that much.
Panels, you won't guess who took your interview.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't figure out till now. Yeah, transcripts, I guess they have. They have the transcript because in
Hmm.
Facebook group, I have also seen one guy who was like, "Yeah, you got a grade. That's the top grade." So he said, "No, it's like as in our college or things like that." So transcripts, I think they have the access to, and they can refer if they want. So like, do not bluff. Like I have not done DBMS when DBMS is your first subject in transcript. So that kind of thing.
And yeah, you don't have to have previous research experience or something. Just
Yeah,
have a
my research
yeah,
experience is zero.
yeah, same. It was zero for me as
Was scary is also like I have not done much of research. Like doesn't matter.
Even if you do, from my side, I would say that if you're not entirely sure, like if you're not 100% into knowing the extra stuff you're doing, don't mention it because like it can only go down south if they ask you questions after which you can't answer after you said that I'm comfortable with these things which are outside the syllabus. So like try to mention it only if you're like 100% sure you know what you're talking about. Yeah.
I still feel confused about DSA. I also don't know about DSA. I prepared DSA, but I don't like it's mostly easy question from lead code, like easier question, not like that. They will just ask you. There are question DSA question. I really would think you should go and see the Facebook group.
Yeah,
That's
actually,
it was
just
a hell lot
remember,
of DSA question. Very like our seniors, they were like just picking up DSA. So a lot of DSA questions
yeah.
there.
So,
Okay, like Harith, is this question like you said some questions from Discord, right? So like is that person here or like should I just type the answer in Discord?
type it in Discord as well, I guess.
Okay.
But majorly, I think you just have to understand the algorithms, like how they work. You don't have to know pseudocode, but working is enough,
Yeah.
I think. Oh, he's here again.
So when there used to be offline interviews, I guess they were asking you proofs also. Some older interview transcripts you can see when a few years back, I think there was offline interview in Triple IT Hyderabad. So they were asking you written questions also, but now I don't think proofs and all matter that much.
Mm.
I guess remembered one to two proofs about how you can prove prints, how you can prove crystals. So I remember those questions. Like I when I was preparing for interview, I can tell you, I can dictate the proof to you, but I don't think that is much of a help now.
So,
For
Yeah,
LED
okay.
people,
So
I
like
think they ask proofs. So they'll ask you to write down the proofs. So be ready in signal systems or something. They might ask you like something like how to derive the inverse Laplace transform
Yeah,
from
basic
the
proofs.
basic transform Laplace transform thing. So you have to know all the proofs.
No, no screen share in
just
chat.
do it on pen
We don't.
paper.
Yeah, you can show it like this.
Yeah, on pen paper.
What are some common mistakes to avoid?
Mistakes. See, everything you do during the interview seems like a mistake. You always think like I could have done this better.
So,
I'd say
after
don't.
the
Tell, Bala, tell.
after the interview, the first thing I did was I told my parents, interview went back. I don't think I'm getting it.
same,
Yeah,
same,
So,
same.
same.
so
Same,
like
Same.
same.
you'll feel bad. Like I mean, obviously, like you might get a couple of questions wrong, uh, and we all, I don't know, like the human psychology is like we just focus on things we do wrong, like rather than right. So like you won't even know that you have answered a lot of good stuff because you'll be focusing on the one or two small mistakes you missed, and you'll keep thinking after interview, oh shit, it was that easy. I just couldn't say tell it over there. So like, uh, uh, that's that, and it's okay to make mistakes. I would say that, like, just try to show them that you're always thinking, you're not staying mum or something like that. Yeah, and also
Yeah.
like, this reverts back to something which you were speaking earlier. So someone was asking how much gap we need to keep before answering a question and stuff like that, right? I would say, yeah, you shouldn't keep much of a big gap, but we like I would say it's better to like give a pause. Like, do not jump into answering. Make sure that the interviewers kind of get an idea that you're not just like speaking out of some stuff you memorized in your mind or something like that. Yeah.
I'd say for any interview, don't show you're scared if possible.
Yeah, be
Just
Yeah.
confident.
fake confidence and don't stay mum also. Just just say what a logical thing comes to your mind next, and that'll help you a lot. Just don't keep it in your head. They need to know what you're thinking. They'll
Yeah.
judge you based on that.
In our question papers that we give in our exam, it's written. You are not marked for what you think. You are marked for what you write. So, like, yeah, this is a real thing from last paper. I drew it. Otherwise, I could have shown you.
Yeah.
I hope
Not
Tejas is still here.
arrogance.
So like, since you're here, I'll answer your question now only. So like, the questions you've asked, like algos, time complexities, data structures, and standard questions in binary trees and graph. So like, I chose like I think if you're choosing DSA, you should choose discrete along with it. Because like it's I don't know, at least in my previous institute we were taught discrete along with it we were
Yeah.
taught graphs and everything. So in that case, if you've chosen discrete and DSA, I would suggest you to like go through this wonderful book called I don't remember its name, but it's by Kenneth Stosen. I can show it to you right now. Harith,
Yeah,
can I
those
present?
are, like don't go through book right now. I would not suggest
Wait,
book.
wait, wait,
I have less
wait.
time.
That's the thing. Like, I have prepared for it. Like, Arijeet. So, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I didn't take much time to go through it. That's the thing. It looks very dominating. It looks like it looks very scary. Rosen looks very scary. But I was able to like since you guys already know the subject. Like in the sense you're not learning it for the first time. I would say you can go through the like uh, I'll you can go through it like within 2 3 days, and dedicating 2 3 days for like Rosen will make your discrete maths and your DSA along with it strong, because you have your graphs and trees at the end of last few chapters are completely about your graphs and trees and algorithmic time complexities, which like is also coinciding with the subjects given in DSA. So like please go through it. It helped me a lot. It made me confident. Like I didn't feel like I was having some partial knowledge or anything. And you don't have to solve any questions from it. Like if anyone has like if you still have like more further questions how to go through those and which chapter you could do and which chapters you want to skip, do tag me in like Discord. I can like give you a brief of how you go through Rosen, but it helped me a lot. Like I was confident in interview regarding graphs only because of Rosen. I would, yeah. So basically that.
Yeah, even I have studied Rosen, but like I studied during my semester. That was like my textbook, so it's a helpful book. Can't like the induction, the strong induction, things like that. You get to know like there are indirect questions that will be asked. Because discrete maths is mostly about proofs and DSA contains proofs. So there is an interlinkage. Though like okay, you can if you can you go to the book in this time.
Yeah. I mean, you can say linear algebra and probability for math. I think they are the best if you're
These are the
not.
two options. I
Yeah.
guess linear algebra and prob are the only two options. They don't give you other options, I guess. These are the two subjects that are mainly in our triple IT syllabus of first year. So they'll give you option on that only.
Yeah. In my case, they asked me questions in real analysis also, like the Cantor's diagonalization. So,
That is discrete, huh?
what?
Okay. That's discrete. That's
Ah,
Cantor's diagonalization. I
it's
studied in discrete.
it's different
Some
in
people
different
are asked
colleges.
calculus also.
EC guys should be asked calculus.
Yeah, I
Exactly.
was asked calculus.
Yeah.
It is mock and on 23. You have a lot of time till 23.
Yeah.
Mock interview.
So they won't read from your essay, but I think they would read it before the interview, I think.
EC guys do a lot of maths. That's why should they be asked calculus, not a
Yeah.
beef.
So
I've seen my
So
roommate
all
doing
signal
maths all the
systems
time.
communication is everything calculus only. Integration, differentiation, nothing else is there in signal systems apart from integration stuff.
So C
So it's
programming have a
yeah.
very C programming have a very list of goodies topics that they can ask. So you can choose C programming only if you are confident. But like C has a lot of goody topics that you might not have seen, dangling pointers and things like that. You can choose that, but be careful.
Honestly, for EC, calculus, LA, probability, almost everything is important. So and they'll ask you on only one. So nothing is less important.
yeah. Uh, Anything in specific?
Satvik, signals, I think a lot of us were asked on, I'd say, for EC.
What are the common
What
mistakes you
what?
see?
A lot of us were asked on EC signals, no, for EC.
Oh yeah, I guess half of the people were asked signal systems only, and
Yeah.
other half digital electronics. No, either asked towards real estate side or communication side. They're the only two popular branches in EC.
Yeah.
So signal systems communication, if you're good at that side, I would say just tell you're good at this subjects.
Are there
So
any?
digital logic.
Yeah.
Yeah, digital logic in CSE is a topic they have some a guy to ask. People very few choose digital logic, but I think there are question about digital logic. So for that case, I have studied digital logic. You have to know everything about adders, triple adders, how EC guys know it better. But like
Mm.
you should have how ripple calculators are there. How can you do counting? How can you make a 8-bit counter? How can you like do certain operation using multiplexer? I guess there is somehow you can add using a multiplexer or demultiplexer. There are questions like that. So like you can put the S input as 0 and then you give it inputs and it's just going to add or something just like that. So how you will make an OR gate or AND gate with that. So those kind of questions in the digital logic is there. Digital logic is a question they ask a lot, and CS guys are not prepared for that, unlike EC guys.
There's one question on screen.
Which counts?
Akash, yeah, go on.
What did they ask about in digital logic? Like what kind of questions? Did they ask anything from sequential circuits?
I think it
Yeah,
was
digital logic. Yeah, digital logic have two sections. Na, I guess sequential
combination.
and
Combination.
combinatorial.
Yeah.
Combinatorial. You have memory based and non-memory based. So,
Yeah.
like digital logic, there are very few questions, but I guess in the Facebook group you can find questions exactly. And when I was preparing, I was like, I had a notes about there is a 6-hour one shot from Gate in digital logic that I actually have everything. 2 6 hours. So that's what I saw before exam. So they will just ask you like digital logic, like that. What I told you, like how to use a multiplexer to make an AND gate. I think questions like that is common. Like there is S input and there is A input and B input and there is a enable input. You can toggle the enable switch to toggle the enable and S input to get different outputs. So you can like engineer it to get a AND gate or an AND gate, or they can ask
This
you.
is for CSC, that is no. Yeah,
Yeah,
CSC,
for
right?
Yeah, for
CSE.
Okay,
CSC.
okay, fine.
For
And
CSE, easy guys may know it better.
Yeah.
Also, like questions like NAND gate, why it is universal, or like they'll ask you, okay, design every gate using NAND, or they will ask you design XOR using NAND. That's a very niche technique that you have. Like there is a very niche technique. You have multiple NAND gate in layers to make a, I guess, XOR. I used to remember that. So like they can ask you make this gate using NAND, this gate using this. So these are the type of question they'll ask.
Yeah.
Digital logic can get ugly a little bit, but like those who know digital logic, you cannot beat them. Some CS guys know digital logic, so that's easy if you know it. If you don't know it, you cannot even hit on it.
And yeah, it could shift to COA also.
Yeah, IEEE, things like that.
Yeah.
One shots, gate one shots. There are multiple gate one shots you can find. Digital logic is a kind of thing that will haunt gate people also. That is a subject that haunts everyone. So like in YouTube, you can just search. Yeah, Avash.
Which one did you use?
There was a
Specific.
guy, square-faced guy. I don't remember the video. If I find, I'll share it to Harith. I have to search. I don't remember. There is a square-faced guy. There are two series of 6-hour videos, combinatorial and sequential. 12 hour. I just came through everything of digital logic. But like I would suggest you doing better if you are choosing it as a main subject.
Is it Sanchit Jain, Paul?
Huh?
Is it Sanchit Jain? Someone is texting in the chat.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess yes. Can you show me the picture if you have it? Yeah, Jayakanth can tell. more about digital logic.
Yeah, is it this guy? Uh,
Yeah, I'm saying Gachibowli Stadium is now closed. Paul.
Close enough. Close
What?
enough.
Hello,
See,
Paul.
yeah. Yes, this guy.
okay.
He's with of digital.
Gachi- Gachibowli Stadium is now closed.
अरे हाँ
Where
भाई
are you
मुझे नहीं
living?
पता. Yeah, I don't
I see.
go.
There's one more
I
question
was
on screen. What are common subject LCD students opt in interview? I think it's
DSA
DSA.
digital logic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
DSA.
DSA digital. Digital not digital logic. Discrete math.
Discrete math. Yeah.
DVMS कितने लोगों को
Uh,
पूछा था?
for EC guys, there's one question.
Will they ask questions on CMOS, inverters? I was not asked. It could be asked, I guess.
Yeah,
What
you
about?
can expect because I was asked how to design logic gates using CMOS logic. So I think you should like they consider this part of digital electronics only. I think you will have had a question in discrete logic, the written exam.
Yeah, Satya.
Yeah, so like I had IEE subject in my first sem. So if I mention it, am I supposed to prepare for questions like what is a BJT and MOS? I mean, the questions about MOSFETs and stuff. I'm preparing for CSD, by the way.
No, they won't ask. I don't
Oh,
think so.
God.
Yeah.
I think it has mostly electrical questions. So BEEE and IEEE, those are the subjects which are not here.
Not for
We don't have
CSR.
those
Wait,
subjects in
Yeah.
IIIT as well. These are
I
like
don't think the profs will know.
Yeah.
yeah.
wait, you are a CSC.
CSD.
Yeah, she said CSC.
If you're CSC, then I think you can take it like they won't ask you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
They won't ask
They
you.
won't
yeah,
ask.
See,
for EC
only
people,
electronics.
they might ask. Yeah,
Even in the introduction, can I just like skip this part?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Only electronic
yeah,
subjects
yeah.
that
It's
will
not
haunt you
even
is digital
record. Huh?
logic.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
That is the
You
only
can
subject
you
which will
can
haunt you.
prepare an introduction, a small brief introduction. You can prepare. You can just memorize it and gap in front of them for like 30 seconds or 45 seconds.
Also, if you're planning to like mention the subjects you study in college in your introduction, I would suggest don't do that. Just talk about like uh, stuff you're interested in. Like
Yeah, your favorite subject
Talk
or
about
something like that.
your strong points. No need to speak any weak points they can exploit later.
Yeah, that's I've been, bro.
Yeah, Gursahib, actually, there was one question for you regarding OS.
Sure, go on.
What was the question? Also, you had to tell, bro. Not just there was a question.
I don't remember actually.
He was
I think
asking, somebody
There
was
is
asking
literally a
if they
question.
asked any OSM questions, if they ask in the interview.
OSN, Gursahib, DM.
Nobody was asked OSN questions as far as I know. Like I
अरे
pretty much
Gursahib,
everyone I've talked to, nobody ever got asked OSN.
We're asking if they asked you.
Nah, bro, they asked me trees and heaps.
Whoever asked that question, I think.
okay, so
who
none of us was
who
asked OSN. That solves it out, I guess.
hmm. Could they dig deep into distributions dimension stats? I think, yeah, I'm not sure.
I mean, what else can you dig deep into there
I think
other
there's
than
Z score distributions and all that, no?
yeah?
I think that's the maximum they can go.
I think if you are mentioning anything, just be prepared to answer from that
Yeah,
topic.
the alternate hypothesis proving and all that. Just make sure you know hypothesis testing. Yeah. So does anyone else have any questions? If no one else has any question, I think if anyone has to give any general advice from LED or LCD seniors, anyone advice?
Yeah, this is. I think I'm sorry for some people. This is getting repetitive. I'm gonna tell it again. You gotta when they ask you a question, don't right away jump into answering because you might as well be wrong. Take a second, think about it for a second or two, even if you're completely sure. Or if you don't know, don't just keep mum. Start talking about your thinking process. Um, and apart from that, yeah, if some of you are feeling nervous, just remember that there are way better opportunities than this. This is just like some intermediate level opportunity. That's all. Yeah, all the best for your interviews. I hope like people here get selected. All the best.
Yeah, actually, Gursahib, there's one question
Go on.
in the chat. Did you mention hypothesis testing or they asked explicitly?
No, I just mentioned statistics, and they were like, what type of study I would get testing and stuff, and they were like hypothesis testing. I just mentioned I don't know statistics, just change it.
Yeah, Akash.
I just wanted to say thank you for conducting this session. Like after this session, my stress levels are down. So I just wanted to say that.
That's great. You don't have to take any stress, don't worry. Be calm.
Yeah. So
I
like
just hope we won't see you leaving after the interview.
We hope as well.
yeah, we'll meet after the interview as well for everyone who is selected and
Yes.
uh, same like support was there, was there, questions were there for us also. We were also thanking our seniors after we came here. So just supporting. I hope you all to be here next year and
Yes.
Yeah, that's it, I guess. To sum up, don't be scared. I mean, don't show you're scared at least. Try to look confident. Try to speak your thought process as much as possible, and that should be fine.
Yeah.
Arijeet is stuck. I think he's trying to say that it's don't take too much stress. It's easy. It'll get done. That's what he's trying to say. So yeah.
Yeah.
If any question comes up, don't just give up. Try to solve it as much as possible.
Also look presentable, guys. Don't show up in your nighttime t-shirts. Like wear a solid color shirt at least.
Yeah. Formal or solid, either works. Fine. I think if there is no more queries, we can end the session.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Bye bye. All the best.
Fine. Thank you, guys. All the best.
All the
And
best, guys.
the best.
All the best, guys.
Bye bye.
Just chill. It'll be fine.